I think the Tivoli had an innocence, had a beautiful innocence. I think people there were unashamed of entertaining.
All the girls are crazy about a certain little lad. Oh, he's very, very bad. He can be so
To bring the old Tivoli performers, the older girls with their fabulous legs and their wonderful charm, has reminded the dancers that they are not here in isolation, that they have a genetic link to the past. I think it helped dancers realise that they're a part of an ongoing family, a generational link that really makes you feel not so alone as an artist. And to see those performers and to know that at whatever age they are, they're still dancers, first and foremost.
How long did you perform that season for until the acts changed? Until you went 5 weeks.
We did 3 weeks of the show,
Right.
but the last 2 weeks of that show we were rehearsing at 10:30 in the morning.
Today, do you still go and see theatre? Like, do you still try and
I
see
don't see
things?
as much as I'd like to,
No.
but I don't think theatre's what it was.
What it was, no.
Nothing like those days.
No.
Of course.
But when they pulled the Tivoli down and never replaced it, the only way I can equal it is if they pulled the Opera House and the Victorian Arts Centre down and replaced it with nothing.
Tivoli was basically the people's opera, an opera that was lowbrow in part, but sometimes fascinatingly arty, sometimes uplifting, frequently funny. Now, we're talking about a period that bridged 2 world wars and the Great Depression.
The history of the Tivoli goes right back to the 1890s. It was founded by an English comic called Harry Rickards in 1893, and he instituted a style of music hall entertainment, the same type of entertainment that was very popular in Britain. A Tivoli show was never ever depressing. It always reflected optimism, humour, music, colour, spectacle, and you went away feeling really, really good. And that's why people remember those shows so warmly. And they were big shows, they were spectacular shows. And we started with big production numbers, very spectacularly staged, with a ballet, chorus, speciality acts, tumblers and clowns, and some of the great comics too. And those were the great times of people like Roy Reen Moe and Jim Gerald, Jenny Howard, George Wallace, people like that who were household names.
Bringing 2 companies together gives me 2 advantages. I can do production numbers, the big lineups that the Tivoli was famous for, but more importantly, it gave me the broadest palette of artists to choose from. It has been unbelievably exciting to discover that dancers can speak, that dancers can sing, that dancers can act. To give the dancers those opportunities is a gift. I mean, I went through my career being mute as a dancer, never speaking. Thank you, Michael. That was so cool. We had ours, and we blew it. With a work like this, I've actually had to give responsibility, and very impressively, the ballet masters, both Brett and Danny, have had to go and sometimes make creative decisions.
On the pirouette, opposition arm, guys, careful here.
People have brought their own schools with them, and this is how the Tivoli ran. People said, this is my forte, this is what I do, and acts were built around those skills.
No, it's that one.
Graham showed us footage of the 1920s throwing piece, and we all watched it very wide-eyed and in sort of disbelief as well, saying this is impossible. But at the end of it, he grabbed the 3 throwing guys and myself and said, how realistic do you think this is? Do you think we can do it? I mean, I love challenges, so I was first to jump in and say, of course we can. If they can do it, we can do it. And the others sort of said, 75% we might be able to do. But we sort of just took it step by step. We did about a quarter of it each day, only because I was too petrified to do any more than that each day. There's no room for error in the throwing dance. If something happens, it could be lethal. So as exciting as that is, it's extremely dangerous. But The guys are so safe with me, so I trust them impeccably.
People don't really appreciate something until it's gone. All of a sudden people look around and say, I don't know where all those people have gone that were the jugglers and the side acts. They're working, I guess, in circuses all over the world, but there's no stages for them to work anymore.
And I feel so sad that so many Tivoli performers suddenly had their lifeline cut in 1966, when suddenly, almost with no notice, the Tivoli ceased to exist. It must have been absolutely shattering. And to suddenly go, bang, into black.
Oh, not too much.
Up a bit.
Yeah, this last one.
Try to do it slow. Grab. Can you look back?
Baby. You don't mind my neck breaking off there? Okay.
This process is killing us because Janet and I are 24 hours breathing it, sleeping it, waking up, arguing about how it should be. I mean, because our working process is very volatile. We're always having opposed opinions, and that is fantastic for a creator. It's adapting from one comfort zone to the new world where the Tivoli will live in a theatre is the most terrifying. It's the transitional thing. Letting go of the things that we've been working on for several weeks, and in 1 week giving them a new home and making them feel like it. It's a bit unfair, actually. Theatre is an extraordinarily dangerous place. It makes me incredibly nervous. Of course, you've got a massive amount of flying, because if you're doing 60 years of the Tivoli, you need very quick changes to go from period to period to take people somewhere else. So, you've got 5 tons of material hanging above you like the sword of Damocles, and it's a scary thing.
I'm not worried about me, it's just that we're all sitting on top of each other here.
Right. See the area back behind you?
Yeah.
35
there.
or longer.
Is that okay?
No.
Carl's just given him a spot.
Oh, I'm ready for bed.
This one's not together, this next one. Then go and go and go and go and go and go. That's better. And the drum roll's happening. Okay.
You think I'm past it, that I'm all washed up? I'll show you. Hey, you jokers, play me something a bit more lively.
That's beautiful, thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Harry.
Well, it's after 1 hour call, so got less than an hour before the show opens.
His mum's being quick.
Mummy's come!
Very important ingredient, the chocolate.
Who's up in the corner?
Difference between a good show and a bad show.
Ladies and gentlemen, house is now open. The house is now open.
Thank you. I'm so excited for you. Tivoli is not a night at the Tivoli recreated. This is a work which is a storytelling work, not a historic reproduction. And the crux of this work is the journey of a young man and his passion for theatre. And someone who spends their entire existence in theatre, which is not uncommon.
Warm embrace, my poor heart skips a beat, simply saying
isolation is always to feel that there is a connection between what's going on stage and who the audience are. And that was what the Tivoli was doing. It was connecting directly. There was conversation between audience and performer, literally sometimes. I've always cared more about that than what the critics think. But the audience are in themselves critics, which is interesting.
I love it.